Hello, everybody. My name is Thomas W. Timbrooks. I plan on running for Congress in 2028. I should be on the ballot in 2028. In 2026, I am a write-in candidate. I appreciate you writing in my name for United States House of Representatives, Oregon's 6th Congressional District. So, I put out these videos as often as I can because I have a campaign budget of $0.00. But more importantly, if you're going to vote for somebody or if somebody asks you to vote for him or her, I think it's very important for that person to try to get across the kind of person that he or she is. You want to know what kind of person you're sending to Congress to represent you. And so I'm going to put these videos out, and anything you really need to know about me or my political stance will be readily available here on YouTube. YouTube's free, so it meets my budget needs. So today I'm going to talk about strategic humiliation. There's this thing going on in Iran right now with the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, going up, using America's military force to go up against Iran and try to fix the system in the Hormuz Strait. Right now, there's very limited shipping traffic going through there because the Iranians have put mines out there and they have all kinds of drones patrolling the area. They're able to threaten any kind of commerce going through that area, and that's a bad thing for America and the rest of the world. And the Iranians are going through what I call strategic humiliation. And the strategic humiliation is basically the Iranian government trying to show the rest of the world that America is terrible, America is awful, America can't be trusted, and like that. So Iran's main weapon is us feeling sorry for them. It is America being humiliated in the public eye, in the world eye. And so I wanted to talk about this particular strategy of establishing dominance, strategic humiliation. Strategic humiliation and the psychology of national power. Historically, nations weakened rivals primarily through direct military conquest. Armies crossed borders, territory was seized, wars were fought visibly. But in the modern world, geopolitical competition has evolved. Today, nations can weaken rivals without ever firing a shot. Modern competition often involves economic pressure, psychological influence, dependency creation, strategic exhaustion, and intimidation of leadership. The central question of this presentation is, how do nations weaken rivals without direct conquest? And perhaps more importantly, how can strong democratic leadership resist these pressures while giving hope to populations living under authoritarian systems? Beyond military conflict, military strength still matters. Armies, weapons, and territorial defense remains essential components of national security, but modern power extends far beyond the battlefield. Today, influence is often determined by economic strength, technological leadership, industrial capability, control of information, and psychological resilience. A nation does not necessarily need to be invaded in order to be weakened. If its industries decline, if its citizens lose confidence, if its institutions become distrusted, or if it becomes strategically dependent on rivals, then its national strength can slowly erode from within. Modern geopolitical competition is often a long-term struggle over confidence, resilience, and influence. Psychological pressure and strategic influence. One of the most important concepts in modern strategy is indirect influence. Nations today use many tools to shape rivals without direct warfare. These methods can include economic leverage, propaganda, cyber pressure, political destabilization, and strategic dependency. The psychological goal is often to reduce confidence in leadership, institutions, economic stability, and national unity. The objective is not always immediate conquest. Often the goal is long-term influence. If a population begins to believe their future is declining, if distrust becomes widespread, if citizens lose confidence in their institutions, then a nation becomes easier to pressure strategically. Psychology becomes part of geopolitics. Economic dependency. Economic dependency can become a strategic vulnerability. Modern economies are deeply interconnected, which creates enormous benefits, but also significant risks. Strategic dependence can emerge through supply chain reliance, debt pressure, industrial outsourcing, or dependence on foreign-controlled critical resources. Over time, this can weaken domestic manufacturing and reduce national self-sufficiency. The important question becomes, what happens when a nation can no longer produce what it critically needs? Whether that involves semiconductors, medicine, energy systems, or industrial infrastructure. Dependency creates vulnerability. Economic strength is not only about wealth, it is also about resilience and autonomy. Information and perception. In the modern world, information itself has become a strategic battlefield. Influence campaigns can involve propaganda, disinformation, social media manipulation, and amplification of internal conflict. These methods are powerful because they target perception. The psychological effects can include distrust, confusion, cynicism, and division. Authoritarian-style systems frequently attempt to portray democratic societies as weak, unstable, or declining. Why? Because public confidence matters. If citizens begin to lose faith in their institutions or national direction, society's resilience weakens. This is why information warfare is fundamentally psychological warfare. Technology and strategic dependence. Technology now sits at the center of national power. Modern nations rely heavily on digital infrastructure, AI systems, semiconductors, communication networks, and interconnected supply chains. This creates extraordinary capability, but also new forms of vulnerability. Strategic concerns include cyber vulnerabilities, foreign-made infrastructure, AI dependence, semiconductor supply chain exposure, and data control. The risks can include infrastructure disruption, surveillance exposure, economic instability, and weakened national autonomy. The core idea is simple. Technological dependence can eventually become geopolitical dependence. The nations that control critical technologies increasingly shape global power. The psychology of national confidence. One of the most overlooked aspects of national strength is psychology. Strong nations require more than military power or economic output. They also require civic trust, economic opportunity, confidence in institutions, and belief in the future. What weakens societies is fear, division, hopelessness, distrust in leadership. When people begin to believe decline is inevitable, national resilience suffers. Psychological resilience is a form of national strength. Citizens who believe in their future are more innovative, more cooperative, and more capable of overcoming challenges. Confidence itself becomes strategic. Iran, Persia, and the human dimension. It is important to remember that governments and populations are not always the same. Many people in Iran strongly identify with Persian history, Persian culture, and national heritage, rather than solely with modern Islamic Republic. This distinction matters. People everywhere generally desire similar things: dignity, stability, opportunity, freedom, and a hopeful future for their families. Strong democratic leadership abroad can provide hope to populations living under authoritarian systems. This presentation is not about hostility towards populations. It is about understanding how leadership, governance, and national psychology affects human lives. Leadership and national stability. Leadership plays a major role in shaping national psychology. Effective leadership encourages confidence, competence, unity, long-term thinking, and resilience. Weak leadership can create uncertainty, public anxiety, division, and strategic vulnerability. Leadership affects both material strength and public morale. When citizens trust leadership and institutions, societies tend to become more stable and resilient. When confidence erodes, instability often increases. Leadership is therefore not only administrative, it's psychological. My closing message. National strength is both physical and psychological. Strong democratic leadership does more than protect borders. It can strengthen civic confidence, resist authoritarian pressure, inspire resilience, and provide hope to populations living under repression. But the purpose of a strong nation should not be domination over others. The goal should be preserving freedom, stability, confidence, and opportunity so that citizens never feel trapped and helpless in strategic dependency. Ultimately, resilient societies are built not only through military or economic power, but through confidence, unity, competence, and hope. Now, you've heard me say before that the whole purpose of any government is to accomplish collectively that which cannot be accomplished by the individual. And certainly no individual Persian who lives in Iran can free the Iranian people, can get rid of the Islamic Republic. This is a job for an organized government. Now, our entire purpose in Iran is to make sure that the world is safe from an Islamic Republic that has nuclear weapons. If America can provide freedom to the Iranian people at the same time, well, that's a bonus. Remember, America is founded on the principles that all people are created equal and endowed by our Creator with inalienable rights of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. It is America's function worldwide to try to make a planet where everybody can enjoy those human rights: life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. So, yes, it is about the oil, but it's also about the nuclear bomb not getting into the hands of the Islamic Republic. But if it can also be about providing the Persian people living in Iran with life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, and a government that will work to ensure those human rights for the Iranian people, then so much better. Because ultimately, that's what we want for everybody: life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, regardless of religion, regardless of gender or sexual preference. Every one of God's children is entitled to these human rights: life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. And if we do not pursue life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness for everybody in the world, well, then we're not we're not being true to our American nature. Thank you for listening, and God bless.